Hello, everyone. I'm Major Garrett. Tonight on America Decides, politics and the papacy. Pope Francis remembered as, yes, a spiritual and political leader. The Catholic Church today, a sturdy institution to be sure, had a different tone in the 12 years of Pope Francis's leadership, notably in his opposition to what he perceived to be far-right policies and his more liberal stances on social issues, such as immigration and gay rights. Millions of Catholics around the world now reflecting on this legacy. One of the last people to meet with the Pope before his death, Vice President J.D. Vance. Tonight, the White House flying the American flag at half-staff, and President Trump says he and the First Lady will attend the Pope's funeral in Rome. Also in Washington, signal again. The White House standing by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He is accused of using his personal phone again to send information about operations in Yemen to a Signal group chat. Among those on that chat, his wife and brother. I want to start tonight with Francis Rocca in Rome. He is a senior Vatican analyst at EWTN News and is a CBS News papal contributor. It's great to have you with us. What is the atmosphere there, the mood tonight?
Well, it's sad. There was a bit of shock because we saw the Pope only yesterday circulating through St. Peter's Square in his Pope-mobile. He didn't look well, but he looked like he was getting better than he had been. He'd been in the hospital, and suddenly the next morning he's gone. So there's a bit of shock, and there's also sadness. Pope Francis, even inside the Vatican, was a kind of a lone wolf, as one cardinal called him. He wasn't close to people that way, so perhaps there's not, the sadness is a more distant, remote feeling, but there's great admiration and a sense that a period is over.
And that is kind of consistent with his papacy, not necessarily integrated within the Vatican and the cardinals, but he wanted, at least symbolically, to be closer to the people. And that's how he spent the last days of his life.
Yes, that's right. I mean, a lot of people were puzzled because his doctors had told him when he left the hospital last month, you must spend at least 2 months in convalescence. You must avoid groups of people. You must avoid children. And he almost immediately went about flouting all those orders. And so people wondered, does he want to risk an infection and finish himself off? But it may have been that he decided he was reaching the end and he wanted to be with the people. And he certainly was. He made a number of surprise appearances around the Vatican and met large groups of people and then met J.D. Vance in his last hours.
And what do we know about the timeline for events to come, including the conclave for the successor?
Well, tomorrow, Tuesday, the cardinals meet for the first time in what's called the General Congregations, and they'll make some decisions, including, for example, when the Pope's body, the late Pope's body, will lie in state in St. Peter's Basilica, which will probably be on Wednesday. And they'll probably decide on the funeral pretty quickly. It's supposed to be between 4 and 6 days after the death of the Pope, so it could possibly be, for example, this Saturday.
Francis Rocca in Rome, thank you very much. I appreciate it.